After 4 years together, a child, and an engagement, I just found out my fiancé told his family I was crazy, that we broke up, and hid me and our pregnancy for 2 years. Now I feel like his dirty little secret. I'm 30 female, and I've been with my partner, Bill, 34 male, for 4 years now. I have an 8-year-old son from a previous relationship, and Bill has essentially stepped into the role of a father figure for him, since his biological father isn't in the picture. We also just welcomed our daughter this past June, which has been such a huge blessing. When I first started dating Bill, everything seemed wonderful between us. But it didn't take long before the subject of his family started to come up. He told me early on that his mother was very difficult, and that he didn't want me to meet her right away because she had a tendency to hurt people with her words. At the time, I brushed it off. I figured he just meant she was overprotective or strong-willed. But it turned into a red flag of its own. It took a whole year of dating before I finally met his family. When I did, it was nothing like I expected. Instead of a warm introduction, I felt like I was being interrogated. His mom grilled me about my past, questioned my faith. I was raised Baptist, they are very strict Catholics, told me I needed to convert or else it was a red flag, and made it clear I wasn't who she pictured her son with. I held it together in the moment, but I left in tears. I had never been judged or criticized like that by someone I had just met. Over the next couple of years, visits to his family were few and far between, mostly because every time we did go, I ended up leaving hurt, crying, or questioning myself. His sisters didn't make it easier. They're close to my age, and while I tried to get along with them, dramas seemed to follow. The biggest blow came in summer 2023. One of his sister's fiancés was caught on Tinder. Instead of holding him accountable, they concocted a theory that I had made the fake profile to sabotage him. I was floored. Out of nowhere, I was accused of something so far out of character for me. Without ever asking me directly, the family cut me off completely. I was exiled, not welcome at gatherings, not spoken to, not acknowledged. I've heard people say, if they're willing to believe lies about you without even confronting you, they were already looking for a reason to be against you. That's exactly how it felt. They didn't want me in the family, and this gave them a convenient excuse. In summer 2024, Bill admitted that he had been trying to mend fences and arrange a meetup, but every time he suggested it, his mom canceled. According to him, she just couldn't stand to be around me. That crushed me, because I knew I hadn't done anything like what I was accused of. It felt like they were trying to paint me as the villain so that Bill would leave me. I was desperate to prove I wasn't this awful person they thought I was. So I wrote his mom a long, heartfelt letter, apologizing for any hurt, expressing how I wanted to make amends, and letting her know I truly wasn't the kind of person they were imagining. I poured my heart into that letter. I never got a reply. Bill told me his mom thought it was a sweet letter and that she wasn't angry with me. But if that were true, then why still refuse to see me? Why still keep me at arm's length? It felt like gaslighting, like they wanted to say nice things about me behind closed doors, but still keep me out of their lives. Then, in October 2024, life threw us a curveball. We found out I was pregnant. Completely unexpected, but after the shock wore off, we were happy. We saw it as another step forward in building our life together. In December, Bill told his parents about the pregnancy. Their reaction? Shocked. That was it. No congratulations, no offers of support. When I asked Bill if we could maybe use this as a chance to reconnect with them, he told me bluntly that they didn't want to meet up. And then came the proposal. Bill asked me to marry him, and I said yes. I was happy, of course I was happy, but in the back of my mind, there's this constant ache about his family. By February 2025, I was already exhausted from trying to build bridges with Bill's family. But things managed to get worse. His mom somehow found my Amazon baby registry and threw an absolute fit. She criticized everything, the name we had picked for our daughter, the items on the registry, and even the fact that I was having a baby shower at all. According to her, since this was my second child, it wasn't proper etiquette for me to celebrate with a shower. It was humiliating. It didn't stop there. She and Bill's sisters started monitoring my registry purchases. Anytime someone bought something for me, they would text Bill saying I didn't really need it or that it was wasteful. It got so invasive that I deleted the registry entirely and made a private one that I only shared with my family and close friends, because at that point, I didn't even feel safe letting them see anything about my pregnancy. Then March rolled around. Out of nowhere, Bill told me that his sister, the one married to the infamous Tinder guy, had a baby. I didn't even know she was pregnant. That's when he also revealed the reason his parents had been avoiding us all along. Apparently, they didn't want to detract from his sister's big moment. According to them, she deserved the spotlight and our pregnancy shouldn't be acknowledged because, in their words, you're not married and should be ashamed. Imagine hearing that while you're 6 months pregnant, carrying their grandchild, and just trying to exist without conflict. By June 2025, I gave birth to our beautiful daughter. She's absolutely perfect, and I felt like I finally had something pure and good that his family couldn't taint. At that point, I had given up on the idea of reconciliation. They had made it abundantly clear that no matter what I did, I wasn't welcome. 2 weeks after the birth, Bill asked me to go with him to his parents' house. I was hesitant. After the way they treated me throughout the pregnancy, why would I subject myself to more? But I'm also the type of person who believes in giving people second chances. Against my better judgment, I went. The visit started off fine, I guess. But then his mom dropped a comment that rattled me. I got your letter last year, but I didn't reply because I didn't know you guys were still together. That stopped me in my tracks. I thought back to the heartfelt letter I'd written her in 2024, trying to apologize and mend things. Why would she assume we weren't together? Later, I asked Bill about it, and he just shrugged, saying he had no idea what she meant. Then, while we were there, Bill told his parents that we were officially engaged. Instead of being happy for us, his mom got hurt that he hadn't told her sooner. And apparently, his sisters were upset too, to the point where his mom has been texting him demanding that he make a public apology to them for not announcing it earlier. Which honestly makes no sense. Why would we celebrate good news with people who have done nothing but tear me down and accuse me of things I didn't do? Still, I was trying. At that same visit, I asked for his mom's number so I could send her pictures of the baby, thinking maybe, just maybe, we could start again. A few days later, I called her, and during that conversation, I brought up her comment about not knowing we were still together. That's when everything blew up. She told me that after the whole Tinder accusation fiasco in 2023, Bill told the family that we had broken up. As in, he outright told them we weren't together anymore. For almost 2 years, his entire family thought we weren't in a relationship. According to her, they only found out we were still together in January 2025, when one of his sister's friends saw us at a theater production with my son. This so-called friend took a picture of us, sent it to his sister, and the family confronted Bill. That's when he finally admitted that not only were we still together, but I was pregnant too. I was stunned. I felt like my whole reality shattered. For 2 years, I was under the impression that we were building a family, fighting together against his relatives' judgment. But behind my back, he had been lying to them about us even being together. When his mom finally admitted what Bill had told them about me, I felt my entire chest cave in. She said that after the whole Tinder fiasco, he told everyone that I was crazy, that I wouldn't leave him alone, that I kept contacting him even though he wanted me gone. And all I could think about was the reality. Him tucking my son into bed, kissing me goodnight, holding me at family barbecues, sitting next to me at my niece's birthday party, and waking up in my bed every weekend. For 2 years, he had been living a double life, telling his family one story while living an entirely different one with me. And then she twisted the knife deeper. She told me that she still believed I didn't need a baby shower because this was my second child, and she insisted it wasn't proper etiquette to draw attention to myself again. I tried to stay calm. I told her that, by etiquette, it's actually appropriate to have another shower if it's been over 5 years, my son is 8, and especially if it's a different gender. But at that point, I realized we weren't even talking about etiquette, it was about control, about her needing me to know I was always beneath her standards. So I dropped it. But the real gut punch came when she casually mentioned that Bill had been visiting them almost every Sunday. My heart stopped. Those were the days, he told me, he was heading back to his apartment to catch up on work. For years, I thought he was avoiding his family, distancing himself to protect me. But he wasn't. He was right there with them, pretending I didn't even exist. When I confronted Bill, I expected denial. Instead, he admitted it. He looked ashamed, acted remorseful, but then did nothing to fix it. No reaching out to set the record straight. No standing up for me. No real effort at all. He just gave me excuses about being stuck between me and his mom like a teenager who couldn't tell the truth. I snapped. I gave him back the ring. I left the house we'd built together. I told him straight. His loyalty had always been with his mom and sisters, not with me. If he truly loved me, he would have chosen me, not hidden me, not made me his dirty secret. And the thing that haunts me most? I don't believe he ever would have come clean. If I hadn't gotten pregnant, I honestly believe I'd still be his secret. He let me cry in his arms about how awful his family was treating me, all the while knowing they weren't treating me any way at all, because in their minds, I didn't exist. He watched me grieve a relationship that wasn't even real, and he said nothing. Eventually, I came back because as broken as I feel, I still want to try to fix things. We have a baby together. My son sees him as a father. I want to believe there's something worth salvaging. But I don't even know where to begin. I feel humiliated every time I look at him. He didn't just lie to his family, he lied to me too. He let me believe I was being excluded, mocked, and hated, when really, I was being erased. I don't think he realizes how much I've already detached from him. He asked me last night what he could do to fix us, maybe because he finally noticed how much I've changed. I stopped cooking dinner for us. Now I just fend for myself and the kids. I only talk to him when it's about the baby. When he says, "I love you," I don't respond anymore. I don't even look at him the same way. I told him that I can't honestly say I'm still in love with him or that I want to spend the rest of my life with him. I let go of that dream back in July when I realized how deep the lies went. We were supposed to get married this December, but he never set a date, never picked a venue, never acted like he wanted it. Looking back now, I think he never intended to. He keeps asking me what he can do to fix things, and the truth is, I don't know. I don't even care enough to try to figure it out anymore. Somewhere along the way, I stopped waiting for him to step up and just accepted things for what they are. Right now, my life feels like survival mode. I'm focusing on graduate school, raising my kids, and just getting through each day. Bill is still here, in the next room most of the time, but it doesn't feel like we're partners anymore. It feels like we're two people living parallel lives under the same roof. This past weekend, he asked if he could take me out, just me and him, no kids. A few months ago, I would have jumped at that. Now, I wanted to say no immediately. It feels like he's trying to love bomb me, throw in some affection and special treatment so I'll forget the months, really years of deception. But I don't want to be love bombed. I don't want to be convinced. I don't want to be bought more time. I don't want him to pull out grand gestures when he couldn't even give me basic honesty when it mattered. The sad thing is I really did try. In the past 2 months since all this came out, I put in effort. I told him exactly what I needed if we were going to stand a chance. A real apology, not a quick, "I'm sorry," just to shut me up. A direct conversation with his family, where he owned up to what he did and cleared my name. Full honesty from now on, no matter how small. But he hasn't given me any of it. He'll apologize in vague, half-hearted ways that don't touch the depth of what he did. He still avoids having that conversation with his family, which, by the way, would undo 2 years of lies and humiliation for me. And worst of all, he's still lying. Little things, white lies as he calls them, but they sting all the same. Like the time he told me he was out with friends, and I found out later he was at a basketball game with his family. He still doesn't want his two worlds, me and them, to exist in the same reality. And that's the whole problem. The irony? His family has actually been more open to moving forward than he has. His mom, after all the years of nastiness, has put in effort to include me. His sisters, all but the one with a Tinder husband, have reached out, texted me, tried to start fresh. His dad asks if I need anything, makes conversation like I belong. The family I thought hated me is now extending olive branches. And Bill, the one person who should have been fighting for me from the start, is the only one dragging his feet. I feel torn in half. On one side, I want this to work. I want my kids to have stability. I want the man I fell in love with back. I want to laugh with him again, plan a future, and not feel my stomach drop every time he opens his mouth because I don't know if it's the truth. But on the other side, I feel nothing but hurt, numbness, and disgust. He made me look like a fool in every possible way. He let me cry on his shoulder about how hateful his family was being, when in reality, they didn't even know I existed. How do I forgive that? How do I trust him again? We were supposed to be married this December. That was my dream. I wanted the dress, the vows, the moment of finally being chosen fully. But when I picture it now, I don't even see him standing next to me. I see an empty space. I don't believe he'd even want to hang out with me on our wedding day, not when he couldn't even claim me proudly while I was carrying his child. I feel stuck. We share a house. He has an established relationship with my son, who sees him as a father. We now have a daughter together. Walking away isn't as simple as packing a bag. My mom has offered me a way out. She said I can come back home with the kids. But even she tells me to try to work it out first because she knows how complicated this is. The worst part is, I don't even recognize myself anymore. I used to be bubbly, loud, fun, I used to sing and dance in the kitchen with my son. I used to laugh until my stomach hurt. I was the kind of person who lit up a room. Now, I'm on autopilot. I do what needs to be done, nothing more. I don't dance. I don't sing. I don't laugh much. I feel like a ghost of myself, just existing, not living.